Good, welcome to Blue Flame for everybody that's just now coming on. That has never been on my channel. If this is the first time you're watching, hello. Sometimes I'll come on live and just do energy updates and chats and just sharing a few things of downloads that maybe help you. Some of the energy I'm feeling. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because take advice from my reading I got last night, but there is some messages I feel that I need to relay to the collective. Um, Especially with the way the astrology is lined up right now. I just saw the thumbnail. I know that there's opportunities that will be coming in to present themselves to you. Um, some of you very well might feel very unprepared. Um, but I just want to remind you, you aren't given more of a task than what you can already handle. There's certain life lessons that everybody has learned over the course of their life that made you who you are. Healing from those things and how you did it. Um, the power of the spoken word has been very, very, it's a part of the law of attraction. Most spiritual texts talk about the use of language and the use of voice and frequency. That's why even in your biblical text it says about life and death are in the power of the tongue. That's because you manifest what you speak. They didn't put it in so many words for most people to comprehend it because they wanted to keep people asleep in the religious community because of power and control. But if people had a higher understanding, they would dig into these truths and understand, you know, you can't take things back once they're spoken most of the time. So that's one of the things, I was saying over the course of my reading I did last night was don't argue with people who don't understand you. It doesn't pay to argue. Understand that their path is their path. And honestly, when you can separate yourself from the barrier of other people's consciousness and projections of that on you, and you can just walk your own divine path and let them be who they are, that's real freedom. Because there is no offense. And it's not that you don't, all you should care about is that person is fulfilling their purpose and destiny. Because that means if you're fulfilling your purpose and destiny, then that means there's somebody else synergizing that too. Instead of being jealous and competitive of each other, why wouldn't we want everybody walking out their divine path and purpose? Makes no sense to me, but that has seemed to be the rival since the beginning of time. Since Cain and Abel, it's been this envy and jealousy thing, and it creeps into almost every single community in the 3D, and even can be with the spiritual stuff too. I saw some of my worst haters come from when I was deep embedded in church. I was a natural born leader. and I had haters in church. It's just kind of a natural thing, and it wasn't that I even tried to do anything to attract it. It's just it naturally, it's the way it is. When you understand a deeper meaning of things and you can confound other leaders, there's, usurpers in the mix that want a piece of that. And if they're not getting that attention, then, they kind of have to fake it out of jealousy and envy. And that's okay. That's what I've found a lot. People try and mimic because they don't have their own identity. Many of us over the past, of course, I'd say, past decade, especially over the past 3-4 years, especially, the energy's been getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And then we've had, especially over the last 8 years, where we had, Saturn in Capricorn, then Saturn go through Aquarius, now Saturn's in Pisces, and then we had the Jupiter transit. We're on a new Jupiter cycle now. So that's the next 12-year transit. And this goes for everybody, whether you're having your personal Jupiter return or not. Once it goes into Aries, that old cycle is over of whatever was happening. Many of us who have gone through, bad relationships, couldn't get into relationships. Many of the collective hasn't been able to, because the collective has been healing. They've been going through profound inner transformation, and a lot of us had to isolate. We did the work, sacrificed a lot as well. So, this void that we're in, during this time, many of you are probably getting a lot of downloads, greater expansion of truths that you've already had, and possibly other angles at looking at philosophies and techniques. You're going to see an upgrade and an uptick and a more creative bent to most of the modalities that you already have going on right now. You're going to start seeing this in your own spiritual life and practices. I mean, I live this life in the 3D. It doesn't matter where I'm at, there's always spiritual activity around me. Always. And many of you can probably attest to this too, where you get synchronicities even in your 3D workplace. Everywhere you go, you're having synchronicities with somebody. Anybody that you gets in your bubble, you can read them like a book. Telepathy's been off the chain collective. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? Sorry, I'm not really having my face on camera. I'm just kind of going by my gut here and some of the things that I've been processing myself. We're over the next week, some of you are going to be seeing this. If you take some time and meditate and you ask specifically during your meditation to give you a sign, it'll manifest like that. Especially if it has to do with your purpose. The divine obviously isn't trying to hide it from you at this point. They want you to be in alignment. Actually, the divine needs you to be in alignment, because if you don't fulfill your part of the destiny and purpose, it's not going to get fulfilled. Somebody ain't going to pick up the slack for you. And there's a reason. There's honestly, there is no room for competition and stuff like that. That's kind of an outdated system. There's enough for the collective. Way more than enough. Whatever you need will be provided for you. As long as you know and you are in alignment, you're going to see the doors open. But, you know, the old saying, if you have not because you ask, you're not asking, you're not speaking it out, you're not commanding it. So maybe you might want to start doing that. Very well might be a good idea to be looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself you're the shit, because you are the shit. No more the imposter syndrome either. Many of us have had that. Because many of us haven't, you know, that's that inner child thing where we don't feel like we're ready and we don't feel like we're good enough. No, you're to make your own way. Also, creativity in the arts and in music, you're going to start hearing different sounds and different genres, brand new genres of music start coming out. That's going to be like released over the next year or two. A whole new genre of music, just poof. When you see it happen, you know, remember Blue Flame told you. Very angelic sounding too. Very high vibing genre of music I'm hearing. Okay. We do have the moon in Capricorn right now. So you might be getting interesting. I'm a cat moon, so I can probably speak into this. Might be why I'm getting these strategies and 10th house stuff, because if this is a part of your career and a part of your status and identity, Saturn is solidifying that over the course of the next year or two. However, you will be getting new creative ways of doing and expanding the things that you've been doing, like by a lot. You're going to be getting different ways and different angles of looking at, like I said, theories that basic theories that can be way more expanded on. Like basically up till now, we were only getting a little like conscious community 101. We weren't getting the super deeper things. We were getting basic, elemental, spoon fed. The truths that we're going to be getting over the course of the next few years is upper level grad shit. Okay? Some of you are scribes out there. You're to be writing books. Y'all know this. Books, classes, supposed to be teaching, writing curriculums. So just be prepared. Some of the stuff that you guys are getting, you might feel like you're just not getting anything at the moment, but really you're getting an absorbent amount of downloads and energy coming in that might not be quite cognitive yet, but you feel this energy, and it's all around. It's been swirling around you since that first Aries new moon. So that's why we're having a secondary Aries new moon. This is all new information many of the collective is getting. So no matter what level you're at, you're upgrading to the next. Like I said, some of you are going into grad school. What the conscious community was getting was elemental. It's time to expand on that. I mean, now that's definitely the foundation. There's way more beyond that. Anyways, so just hang tight. Make sure you're taking down any notes, doing any kind of journaling, making agendas, vision boards, all of that right now. Yeah. Will help you immensely. Get those vision boards going. Start doing it in your 3D life, mantras and all that other stuff. Get up, go to bed, get around, tell yourself you're the shit. You need to understand this. You need to walk in your authority. I'm not saying be cocky about it, but you don't have to walk ashamed or tuck your tail between your legs. Nope. Now's the time to stand up for who you are and what you believe in, and don't waver. Stay in a place of peace and love, and yep, you might have people that don't like you automatically. Oh well. Oh well. What are you gonna do? I find it really interesting that this this next new moon in Aries with the eclipse is squaring Pluto. So there's like I said, there's an up leveling. There's a phoenix rising from those ashes. You know, of the foundation. You're to take apart old constructs and build on top of them on a firm foundation. You got the basics. Many of you got the basics. You have the knowledge. You even have practical application. Now it's time to expand on that. And I find it interesting that Jupiter will be going into Taurus, so it's going to solidify this energy as well. That's your career sector too. Yeah. Tangible, material possessions and all that other stuff. Very, very interesting. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm going to get off of here. I just figured I'd give you this download that I got. Don't dismiss any little thoughts, any little concepts. Be writing them down. You could be getting healing modalities. You could be getting ideas for books, and some of you might be even writing autobiographies and stuff like that about your journey. All of that will be very valuable. Some of you might be writing dissertations too, or you're going to be. But it's time to expand. Anyway, I love you. Y'all have a good night, and y'all take care and be blessed. Good night.